state representatives that were willing to walk off the floor for you guys.
Was voted yes by each one of these people. Dave Syverson, even though being a part of the state central committee, has had the courage from within the structure to vote yes on all of your right to vote. Yeah. Senator Dan Duffy voted yes. Senator Christine Johnson voted yes. Senator Lahood, yes. Each person in the Senate who's standing here today voted to empower you. Now the battle goes over to the House. I ask you to do one thing, please, and that is to have each one of your state representatives be a co-sponsor. It is not enough for them to say, oh yeah, I'll vote for it when it comes, if it comes. Have them commit to your power to vote. Because I ask you, what's the sense of doing all the work you're doing? To give your time, to give your money, to give your heart to the cause of democracy in America. If when you get to the voting booth, you cannot vote for one of the party's leadership in the state of Illinois, it makes no sense.
Yeah.
So I ask you to consider, please get your state representative. Identify, you know who serves you in the House. Please require that person to be a co-sponsor of your right to vote. Thank you very much.
Mike Conley, State Rep Mike Conley, is sponsoring repeal the tax hike bill in the House. In the Senate, so we thank them. One thing I would like to point out, as long as these folks actually walked off the floor and are standing up for us, is that everybody in this room needs to remember that when Quinn had the bill that was passed in the middle of the night in a lame duck session, it doesn't matter if you are a Democrat or a Republican. This was done before the new House was actually sworn in. Thank you, Dan. Was sworn in that day. It was done dark of night, and Quinn, obviously, I'm not implying that there were any deals cut in the middle of the night, but the fact that one person had been carried out by ambulance might tell you something. But I will say that every Republican in the House and in the Senate, just so everybody here knows, did vote no to the tax hike. Dan Duffy. There were also 10 Democrats who were brave enough at that time, in that environment, to vote no. And there has been a question as to, are these Democrats Tea Party people? Are they? That has nothing to do with it. These 10 Democrats, irregardless of party, said no. We don't want you to raise our taxes, and I can assure you that at least 3 of them said that no matter what happened, they would vote no, that their constituents said vote no. So we do want to thank either party. So, very quickly, I just want to read out their names. It was Fred Crespo from the 44th District, John D'Amaco from the 15th District, Keith Farnham from the 43rd District, Jack Franks from the 63rd, Gian Gordon from the 92nd, Emily McCasey from the 85th, Deborah Mell from the 40th, Harry Osterman from the 14th, Brandon Phelps from the 118th, and Carol Sente from the 59th District. So thank you for listening to the people in Illinois. So our thoughts and prayers are with him and his family right now. Hopefully everything is okay. And we thank State Senator, Dan Murphy. And Duffy, that was Senator Lauzen's fault. He was whispering the wrong name.
That's all right, everyone does that. Dan Duffy, Matt Murphy, you know, 2 Irishmen, what's the difference in politics? Okay, thank you very much. Again, let me just say that Mike Connolly, God bless him, he's home right now with his wife. They're in the hospital, but I'm sure everything's going to be okay, and I let him know that our prayers are with him. He asked me to come up and speak on his behalf because he knows that we both have the same passion about the issues of tax and spend. Now, Mike Connolly is the sponsor of the bill to repeal the tax increase. And I know that all of you are with him on that, as am I. I'm a co-sponsor on the same bill on the Senate side. But let me tell you, I grew up the youngest of 11 kids, and 7 of us started our own businesses, all doing different things. Of course, we wanted to live the American dream, be fiscally conservative, do what was right. But look what happened. What got me involved in politics to begin with was, as a small business owner, if you remember the former governor, Governor Blagojevich, he decided he wanted to pass a gross receipts tax. So what he wanted to do is he wanted to take 3% off the top from every small business owner in the state of Illinois. So 8 out of 10 jobs in Illinois come from small businesses. 78% of all the companies in Illinois have 9 or less employees. But what the governor decided he wanted to do was take 3% off the top, whether you made money or didn't make money, or whether you made a profit or whether you're borrowing money from the bank. He wanted to take 3% to go straight to the government for more excessive spending. So of course that frustrated me. That got me involved to speak up and speak out like all of you are doing today. And then one thing led to another, and people said, hey, maybe you should run for office. So that's why I'm here today, because of that. They said was the capital bill. Now the capital bill, I was told, was all about roads. It was to build better roads in Illinois. And I'm 100% for building better roads in Illinois. And I want that 100%. But along with that bill, they played the typical Springfield game here in politics. In that bill, they put a tax on everything we eat, drink, and enjoy. A tax on alcohol, a tax on wine, a tax on everything from license plate fees to dating services. So you know what? I had to say enough is enough. I can't vote for these road jobs and this road construction if you're going to turn around and tax everything we eat, drink, enjoy in that same bill. So I made a hard vote, but I voted no. Now they tell us that that bill was unconstitutional. Because of the single clause rule, you cannot group all those tax increases along with those road projects. So now that bill is going to go to the Illinois Supreme Court for review. So then the next bill that I voted on was a bill that the Governor Quinn, wanted us to vote on to borrow more money, to borrow billions of dollars to pay our bills. And he promised, if you let me borrow this money, then we'll be able to pay all of our bills, we'll pay everything that we owe, and we won't need any more money. Now, you think that happened? No. Of course, I voted no on that bill along with my colleagues, but it passed. And then what's the next thing that happened in the lame duck session? Here, in one of the process that I don't understand how it's legal, and it shouldn't be, the lame duck session voted for the largest tax increase in Illinois history. A 67% tax increase. And once again, the governor said, if you vote for this bill, and if this bill is passed, I'll pay all the bills, I'll take care of all our financial troubles, and I won't need any more money. Of course, all the Republicans voted no on that bill. That bill passed, and now, wouldn't you know it, the governor's coming to us again and saying, I need to borrow $8.75 billion more. So here we go again. Spend, borrow, and tax. It's time that we stop this vicious, reckless spending cycle. If people stay and get engaged. You are doing your part. You need to tell your neighbors. You need to tell people at work. You need to tell people to reach out to legislators, because unfortunately a lot of legislators are only interested in the next election, not the next generation. So you need to tell them, if you're interested in the next election, then you need to stop this taxing and borrowing, or we're going to remove you from office. Government in Illinois. Thank you very much for coming. Keep speaking out.
Good afternoon. I'm Representative Summer from Tazewell County, Illinois. Just a very few words. My district includes the community of Eureka Collegeville, one of our greatest presidents in Canada, Ronald Reagan. During a recent campaign, one of my area newspapers thought they were jabbing me when they said, Keith Summer is undoubtedly the most conservative legislator in central Illinois. I'm proud of this record. I voted no on the greatest tax increase in this state's history. One other thing I want to mention. It's about a piece of paper that comes to us from the late 1700s. The Constitution. How lucky we are that we